All right, shalom, shalom. Brother Abadia, here with the brother. And we coming in the spirit and power of YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI. The other side elders at Great Millstone taught this truth through the spirit, seeking honor to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the sister minimum and the children, and you consider the 1/3, and to the confusion of basis of the four corners of the earth, shalom. I actually got a strike on my main page over a video that I had uploaded about a week ago, where there was this Edomite man, so-called white man, Caucasian, who pretty much was going into how the Lord's people would have to be the people who consider themselves to be legal Latinos and Native Americans. So I got a strike on that. I appealed it. They said it was a hate speech, but it wasn't hate speech. All that man spoke was secular history and biblical facts, right? So that led me into the spirit to rejoice because Esau has the power to continue to perpetuate a lie, right? Lamentations chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. What does it mean by you shall be drunken and make yourself naked? Because of the power that you have right now. So-called white man, woman, and child, they call themselves Caucasians. You got to go back to a man named Johann F. Blumenbach, who goes on to say that the purest people on earth come from the Caucasus Mountains. Because you were living in the caves before. That's why you made the commercial saying it's so easy a caveman can do it. And you try to say that all of mankind come from caves, the caveman. But that's where pride comes from, because you come from the caves and you come to rule the whole world, right? Going back into the Renaissance, the early 1300s to 1400s. The word Renaissance means rebirth, because after the Roman Empire, after it was taken down by Septimius Severus, yeah, he was cast up into the caves in the Caucasus Mountains. And then during the Middle Ages is when the so-called Negroes, right, they were ruling the Europeans today, known as the Moors, right? So as of right now, we're telling you to rejoice, because this is your end. Go ahead, huh?
And the brother said that he dwells in the caves. Genesis chapter 36, verse 1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. Jumping on to verse 8. Thus dwelleth Esau in Mount Seir.
Right.
Esau is Edom.
And Mount Seir, the mountains, all right? Look up Mount Petra, M-O-U-N-T-P-E-T-R-A. Because Petra goes back to the word rock. Like Peter, the word Peter, the apostle, the disciple, go back to the word rock. Because they lived in those Caucasus Mountains, man. So that's why when I open up Lamentations 4:21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. What does it mean, make thyself naked? You're making yourself bare, meaning that you can't conceal these lies. You can't conceal all the secrets anymore. The lies that you have been perpetuating. Good. Like Elder Apostle GABAR said before, at one time they was out preaching the word, and a so-called white man, the Edomite, pulled up to him in a limousine and said, "We spent millions of dollars concealing this. How did you find out?" He shut the door and he drove off. That's what it means by you becoming bare. You becoming naked. Like I said, the video, Shalom NAQAM, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, QADASH, BROTHAS. Like the video that they put a strike on, it was a so-called white man himself lifting up the skirt on you, making you bare, exposing who you truly are, right? The brother NAQAM dropped Numbers 24 and 18. All right, man. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Exactly. Like it says in the book of Daniel, it says the righteous shall take the kingdom. Go ahead,
like what the brother said, that is, this secret is revealed. Obadiah 1 and 6. How were the things of Esau searched out? Search the web. There was an Edom, like I said, they regret the internet being made.
Right, I think it was a Rothschild or a Rockefeller. They say they regret it being made. You're right, Art. You're right.
How are the hidden things sought up?
Right. How are the hidden things sought up? That's why they call themselves the Illuminati, right? So when you go to the word Illuminati, it means to illuminate, okay? To bring light. They try to conceal the light and keep people in darkness, but they have the light, because the light is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. They want you to be ignorant. That's why when you go to the word nigger, N-I-G-G-E-R, in the Webster Dictionary, that definition was an ignorant person. Willfully so, our people was ignorant. That's why we are known as the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we had no idea where we were going. There's a saying in the world, how do you know where you're going if you didn't know where you come from? Right? The past will lead into the present, but what's happening right now will lead into what's going to happen in the future. And right now, us shutting down Babylon will lead to the destruction of Esau, because that's their future, destruction. So rejoice and be glad, Yahweh.
Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
The face of the covering cast, the veil over all nations. Like I said, Johann F. Blumenbach, I got the book from Babylon to Timbuktu. He breaks down the 5 main sectors of people in the world, right? Negroes, Hispanic, Caucasians, Mongoloids, and there was another phase, right? And they broke everybody down to 5 categories. That's why when you go to a job interview, they ask you what's your ethnicity. That's what he did. So the whole veil over the earth was saying, you're not a Moabite, you're Chinese. You're not an Ammonite, you're Japanese. You're not an Ephraimite, you're Puerto Rican, right? That's what they were doing. You're not a Judahite, you're black, which is the freaking color. Show me black on the map. And some of our quote-unquote the smartest people today still call themselves black. That's a color that's in the Crayola crayon box, right? You got Isaiah 25:7? You give me that one more time, Bible Bishop?
Isaiah chapter 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast.
And the mountain is talking about the nation. The Lord said he's going to destroy this nation. Go ahead,
the face of the covering cast over all people.
Over all people that blinded the people, the masses, man. They kept everybody in darkness. Go ahead,
and the veil that is spread over all nations.
And the veil that is spread over all nations. So let me go to I'm going to go back to the time of the Maccabees. This is First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And lay open the book of the law, which is the Bible, right? Wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. What does that mean? Going back to the medieval times. Like if you go into the a Russian cathedral or Russian church, they have icons of what quote unquote black people, dark skinned people. And there's something called iconoclasm, ICONOCLASM, or whitewashing, where they would take those pictures and then they would depict the dark skinned people as being so-called white people, man, Caucasians. It's right here in the Bible. Read it again. This is part of the Apocrypha. First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. And lay open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images. And then that gives you a little side note, or for the which the heathen had made diligent search, that they may paint their likeness of their idols. Right, that's what they've done. So when you see pictures of Adam, like matter of fact, going back to the 16th chapter, Sisteen, at the top of the ceiling of the cathedral, you'll see a picture of Adam and God, and they're touching fingers and they're naked. So they're trying to depict God in the first Adam as being the so-called white man. That's a lie. That's what they meant by them taking this depiction of the book of the law and making their own likeness, their own idols, man. That's what they've done.
I was looking for the one in Revelation where he says he deceived the whole world after the dark ages, after 1,000 years in Revelation.
It's talking about he loosed Satan.
Because he deceived the whole world.
Just go to Revelation and type in 1,000. It should give you what you're looking for. I was thinking about that as well. But the Lord bound them. So this is right now, you ruling right now. They go back to Job 9:24, the earth. Let's help you. Let me get that really quick. So that coincides with this one. You gotta understand who the wicked is. Go to Malachi, the 1st chapter. It says Esau is the border of wickedness. The border is the beginning. Like we live in Florida. If we were leaving Florida across the state lines to go into Georgia, it would say now entering Georgia, meaning that we're now crossing the border, which is the beginning of the state of Georgia, the state line, right? And once you cross over that border, there are different laws in that state compared to Florida. Got it up?
Revelations 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up.
What's the bottomless pit? The bottomless pit is Europe, because in Europe they really don't have anything that grows there that you can use as an export. It's the bottomless pit. It's the very, very cold, very, very cold. What Esau is going to live at, because Esau lacked melanin, right? It's called leprosy according to the Bible. And melanin, what melanin does, melanin has melanocyte cells, melanocyte cells, right? That when the UV rays of the sun touches your skin, what happens? You get dark. Why do you get darker? Because the melanocyte cells rapidly reproduce to protect your skin from the UV rays. So technically, that gives you a natural suntan. A natural SPF 15. Yeah, natural suntan. Natural sunscreen is what I'm looking for. Natural sunscreen, man. So you're gonna be that bottomless pit, right? Because it lacks resources.
And to help, the second Ezra 5:24, and out of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. So that's how you know also that it's talking about land, the bottomless pit.
Ah, good one. That's good. That's good.
Back in Revelations 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him.
Set a seal. In other words, that seal was that they would not be able to rule the world again until the Lord allowed them to rule the world again. Remember, during the time of Alexander the Greek, they ruled the whole known world then. What happened was that they Hellenized the whole world, right? The difference right now is that they use the word Americanize the whole world, and under the guise of it being Americanized, they call it democracy. So what democracy does, it pushes out this negative vibration to all the other countries on the east of us. So we're in the westernized world. So the east of us that has traditions that goes back not only centuries but millenniums. That's why there was a woman that had her hijab, she wore it incorrectly. She got put into prison and she wound up being dead. Now, I don't know about her being put to death. I don't know what happened there, but they take that very seriously. Like there was a woman who left her family over in the Middle East with a turkey. She was making TikToks, and then her mother said she wanted to see her. Her mother met her up at a location, not knowing that her entire family showed up. And her father beat her to death, and then he said he did it out of honor of his family. And guess what? Over there in those countries, he would get exonerated for that because she brought shame to the family. So being Hellenized is no different than being Americanized, which go back to the law of Thelma. The law of Thelma goes back to the Romans, which means do as thy will, meaning that do what you want. And that's what they do here in America. Because I think it was Maya M. Bauer, one of the dukes of Edom, so to say, in reincarnation said, give me control of a nation's money and I care not who make the laws. That's why they don't hold the laws of the Bible. They hold their own laws. Yeah?
But he should and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him. that he should deceive the nations no more.
Right.
Till 1,000 years should be fulfilled.
1,000 years should be fulfilled, which goes back from the time they went down. But think about it, from 325 AD, starting 325 AD, that's when Constantine, who was an Israelite, really created Christianity, right? Because what it is, I forgot exactly what sector. There were two sectors that one said they believed in the resurrection, then another sector said they didn't believe in the resurrection. That goes back to the book of Acts. I forgot who it was. I think the Pharisees said they believed in the resurrection, but the Sadducees said they didn't. It's in the book of Acts. So who the hell were those two sectors during the time of Constantine and Constantinople? They were Israelites.
I think it's safe to say that that's happening at this time too, because there's groups out there with the one body in YAHAWASHI. You know, they say they don't believe in miracles, and then you got, you know, great millstone like-minded that believe in miracles.
I mean, us waking up to who we are right now is a miracle. But you know what that means? That means they don't have to believe in YAHAWASHI, because the RAWACHAA, which is a proportion of YAHAWASHI, has been given unto us. But they don't believe in YAHAWASHI, because they don't believe in the reincarnation. They don't believe in the resurrection. And that really goes back to those Old Testament Israelites, man. Old Testament only Israelites. You know?
So 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season,
which would be the Renaissance, which started in 1300. Now think about this, y'all. 325 AD, when Constantine created Christianity, and then you have Muhammad, who was set up by the Israelites to create Islam around 700 AD. Then 1300s AD is when the Renaissance came about. So from about 300 AD to 1300 AD, it's 1,000 years. And then Jake started marrying the Edomites into our families, going back to the Stuarts, the house of Swart, the Swarthy, which means black, which was King James. King James came from the house of Stuart, right? And King James was the sixth king of Scotland, the first king of England, which is where you get the UK from, the United Kingdom. He brought Ireland, Scotland, England, and I think France together. He stopped them from warring against each other, man. That's our people. The fighting Irish, that's us, man. The hot-headed Scottish people, the red hair, that's our people. King James was the one that brought the flag of Andrew and I think the flag of George together. When you get one flag which has a cross in it, another flag that has the X in it, when you merge it together, that's how you get the UK. The United Kingdom. That was Jake who did that, man. He was a Jacobite, so to say. Look at the word Isaac. The word Isaac, the Anglo-Saxons go back to the word Isaac, which means the angelic sons of Isaac, man. That's us. Even King James had a son who they call the black child. His grandson was known as the black child. And King James wasn't a homosexual because he had a letter he wrote to his son called the Basilica Duran, where he spoke about not having an effeminate nature, not having long nails, not having long hair.
And he had a son that took laying down with a woman.
Facts, man. He had a son, right? So like, go ahead, that was it. You give me Job 9:24.
Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked.
So the Lord gave them rulership, meaning that the Lord had to loose that seal in Revelation, right? Remember, it tells you in Numbers, the 4th chapter, the Lord said He ruleth in the kingdom of men. So the Lord said He ruleth in the kingdom of men. That means that every king that has been set up, that kingdom was set up by YAHAWASHI. That's what that means, right? Good.
The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof.
Who are the judges? The judges are the saints, the Israelites. Oh, what is it? Oh, not Isaiah, there. 1 Corinthians, let me get that really quick. It says He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 2. Check this out. 1 Corinthians 6:2. Do ye not know that the matter of fact, let me start at 1. Are any of you having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Who will the law given to? The Israelites. All right, that's a cut. Well, Psalm 147:19. He shewed this word to Jacob and laws and statutes unto Israel. As for the other nations, he has not dealt with them. As for his judgments, they have not known them. Right? So pay attention. 1 Corinthians 6:2. Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? Who are the saints? The Israelites. So who are the judges? The Israelites. When they covered the faces of the judges thereof, that goes back to 1 Maccabees 3:48. When they opened the book of the law and they covered the faces, they painted the likeness of their own images, man. You can't make this up. Right? Finish it off. Are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? Verse 3. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? Right? So the judges that they cover up was us, our people, man. Okay, go ahead.
Here's an example of covering the faces of the judges thereof. You see?
Increase the brightness on your phone. Okay.
That's how bright it goes.
Okay, you can see, yeah.
Boom, there you go.
Beautiful.
Right there.
Facts.
And look at that. It says the law could have been. Look at that word.
Transgender.
That's horrible, man.
Go ahead, yeah, they want to try to change even the Lord's gender, say he was transgender. Stop it, man. But even the Lord said in Matthew 19 chapter, he said, a man shall leave his mother and father and shall cleave unto his wife, and they are twain flesh, and they shall become one. Stop playing, man. What does it mean become one? A man inserting his penis into a woman's vagina, and then them creating another body, whether it be a male or female. All right, that's how you multiply, by dividing. Bring two together to make one. And the Lord beautiful, man. And guess what? The word truth in the Hebrew is pronounced math. And you can never lie in math. It's either 1 + 1 is 2, or 1 + 1 is nothing else. You can't say, oh, it might be, oh, it could be. No, it is. You got something up? Yeah, finish.
Job 9:24.
You can bring up whatever you want.
And the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He curved the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Right, if not, where and who is he? So who was it that came out of Caucasus Mountain and changed how everybody else in the world supposed to be called or how they would look, right? Like the Last Samurai had Tom Cruise playing. You don't think that Tom Cruise is an Edomite, but really Tom Cruise is a Jake, man. Tom Cruise is a Jake. Al Pacino is a Jake. Tommy Lee Jones is a Jake. Robert De Niro is a Jake. Justin Timberlake is a Jake. You know what I'm saying? They all Jake. They just look like that. Because remember, we ruled Europe for 1,000 years. Then we've been scattered all over the world. That's why you got people over there in the Philippines right now. Though they speak in their native language, they will always say YAHAWASHI or YAHAWASHI whenever they're preaching the word, man. So even though we were scattered to the four corners of the earth, man, the Lord dealing with it. Like you got brothers in Germany. They speak Deutsch, and some even speak sign language. But they will still say the name YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. You know? Yeah, go ahead. What do you got? Yeah. John Travolta, Jake too. Come.
As you brought out Lamentations 4:21.
Right.
And it says, Revelation 18:4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins.
What does it mean, come out of her? That means to be holy. Holy means to be separated. So you got to separate yourself from this world, right? Remember, the Lord said, friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High. Go ahead,
that ye be not partakers of her sins.
What does it mean? What does it mean, be partakers of her sins?
To partake in their holidays, you know, to partake in just the holidays. The biggest example, because the birthday one is the biggest satanic holiday in the Satan book.
What's sin?
Sin is the transgression of the law.
So this society don't uphold the law. So anything in the society damn near goes against the law. Like the brother said, holidays, eating pork. They make it sound like, oh, you can eat pork if you want, but according to the Bible, the Lord said don't even touch it, right? OnlyFans, allowing your daughter to be a whore or harlot, smoking cigarettes. Yeah, you can legally smoke cigarettes, but it destroys your temple. All of that is being part of this world, being holy and separating yourself from it. Though we in the midst of all the people, we don't have to act or be like the people, you know?
And when it says come out of my people, I also heard a brother that said he's the GMS inspiration. He always does videos in his car. And when he mentioned that too, he said that it also means that the Lord's going to bring you like out of here. Come out of my people. Literally through a chariot. In Ezekiel 36 and 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries.
Facts.
And will bring you into your own land.
Right. And how the Lord gonna do that? Matthew 24 and 31, where it says the angel shall gather the elect for the four corners of the earth. How the Lord gonna gather us? What, on spirit? What, United Airlines? Southwest? No. By the chariots, via the chariots, man. The brother NAQAM dropped Proverbs 19 and 16. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul. And he that despiseth his ways shall die. That's what it means by coming out of her, the water, by repenting. So what did Paul say in Acts 17 and 31? He said, the Lord winked at your ignorance, meaning that you didn't know any better. Now repent. What does repent mean? Read means back. Pit goes back to a penalty. Like we being penalized for committing what? Sin. So now that we look back at our sins, that's what the penitentiary is. You go there for committing a heinous crime, and then all you have is time to reflect back on what you did. And you say, I don't want to do this no more. Like right now, we in the penitentiary. We in Babylon. We've been reflecting back on what we did. Things that are written aforetime for our learning. And we say the Lord, Salakit, the water YAHAWASHI, but have mercy upon us to repent and to draw back to you, to come back to you, man. Like it says in the root before. Though it wasn't you to go astray, now seek the Lord 10 times more.
It says, come out of my people. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins,
right?
And that ye receive none of her plagues.
Right. And those plagues go back to Zechariah the 14th chapter. When it said, this shall be the plague that shall come to the whole earth. It said that flesh shall consume when it stand upon their feet, their eyes and their sight and their tongues in their mouth. Think about Sarah Connor in Terminator 2. That's the plague that's coming, but there are already plagues prior to that. You got the plague of famine. All right. There have also been locusts that have been destroying harvests, right? The cold that's been destroying the harvests over here in America as well. And remember, the word plague, really go back to the word wound. Remember, the Lord said, you shall be visited with earthquakes, going back to Isaiah 26. Think about Turkey and Syria. Over 25,000 people died from that earthquake.
And there's another plague too. When it says, when thou shalt say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come. That's happening all over the place. For instance, there was like a fairground. We're in a real thing.
Ferris wheel, I think something like
Ferris wheel. Then it just started falling apart out of nowhere. People falling. Then there was another one where it was a swing and a long string, and there was a bunch of people going like a circle. The strings got loose, and people's knees were banging up against metal rails as it's spinning. Wow! Sudden destruction.
Yeah, that happened down here not too long ago. There was a very heavy set Jake that was down here in Busch Gardens. He was in one of those attractions that go all the way up in the sky. His safety hook came apart. He fell to his death. Yeah, man, but the Lord is bringing those plagues to everyone, man. Even the plague of hunger. How about this? This year, when everybody got their taxes back, remember they were giving everybody them stimulus checks? They say they want that money back. That's hurting your pockets. That was a plague. So that's why
they showing no mercy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's why people are getting a smaller amount back from their taxes. But here it is, Ukraine, a country halfway across the world, they sending them billions of dollars. They don't give a damn about you people, man. They don't give a damn about you people. They go back to Sirach. Matter of fact, let me get that really quick. No, speaking of Sirach, you got some Sirach right here. Sirach 30, can you give me Sirach 10? Sirach 35:3. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord, and to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. That propitiation is the blood of YAHAWASHI. Right. Quran drop Psalms 47:2. For the Lord most high is terrible. Right. He is a great king over all the earth. The Lord is terrible, man. The terrors that happen to the world. Can you imagine, like the brother said, the earth could happen overnight? Can you imagine you in your bed, the night mark, go to lay down, all of a sudden your building started shaking, then you started to hear floors falling down on you. You got rubbles upon the heaps of stone on top of you, man. That's a very scary feeling, man. A very scary feeling. Remember what it said. The Lord shall come like a thief in the night. The Lord came like a thief in the night. It took 25,000 souls, man. That's the terror of the Lord. Shalom. Shalom. Come on, dog. Exactly. Shalom, shalom. YAHAWASHI, SHAM, QADASH, BROTHAS. Right. So the Lord is terrible, man. The Lord gonna bring terror to this whole world right now. That's why the brother brought out Revelation 18:4. Like I said, Esau was seeing billions of dollars across the world. They don't even care about the people right here, right now.
Sirach 10:3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited.
Right. So the presidents here, they destroy their own people. They'll give you a stimulus check, then say they want the money back via your taxes. But then your tax money, taxpayer money, they ship it halfway across the world for a proxy war with Ukraine against Russia. They don't give a damn about the Ukrainians, man. They just using Ukraine as a post to continue to wage war on Russia because Ukraine has a certain element there on the periodic timetable, the periodic table, a certain element there that helps them with the production of making chips, right? Just like America's beefing with China, who China beefing with Taiwan about those seas, those islands in the South Sea. Only reason why America give a damn about Taiwan is because they produce a certain metal. They produce the majority of the ships that America needs, man. And like I said, they don't give a damn about you here. They don't suck all the people here dry. They don't care.
And to say, when the brother said that they're taking money when you do your taxes, they're taking money because of the stimulus. That's horrible. That's everybody's struggling anyway.
That's
usury.
usury.
You're still gonna do that. Watch this.
Right.
Isaiah 47:6. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy.
No mercy. And that goes back to hardcore bondage. And then even after that, because all those lynchings and hangings, that happened after the Emancipation of Proclamation. Which emancipation just means the transfer of power. Right?
Upon the ancient, that's the elderly.
Yeah, the elders. Because I remember there's instances where you have a young Edomite boy, probably like a teenager, calling the older Israelite man, boy. How the hell a young boy who's adolescent calling an old man with gray hairs boy? And they still had them out there in the fields working, man. Go ahead,
And didn't show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavenly laid thy yoke.
Thy yoke, right. Yeah, we have some revelation. No. Read it again. Read that and read the 4th chapter. Read 4th verse.
Sirach 10:3. An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord.
Woo, that's why the Lord said he ruleth in the kingdom of men, right? the earth been given to the hands of the wicked. Satan was bound for 1,000 years and he bust the seal. The Lord ruling, man. That's why we got faith, man, because we know what's going on. You know?
And in due time, he will set over it one that is profitable.
And that's YAHAWASHI. YAHAWASHI. Shalom, shalom, GABAR. YAHAWASHI, BASHIM QADASH, RAWACHAA. Come. Go ahead up.
Revelation 18.
You can go on. You can go to your own.
I got Isaiah 14. Isaiah 14, 5 through.
No. Manifest Isaiah 47. Okay.
Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Sit in the dust, go ahead.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Let's think about it. When you're sitting on the throne, that means that you're at the top. Like the Lord speaks about the biggest mountain. The mountain in the hills is parabolic. It's allegory compared to nations. So they're at the peak. All right, they're the top mountain. Like prime example, they have the G20 summit. What that stands for? The G20 summit is where the top 20 countries in the world or mountains in the world come together to gather. What is a summit? The summit is the peak of a mountain, i.e. the top of all the nations, right? That's how the man called like myself for the truth. So you sit on the throne, right? When it says sit in the dust, that means that you're losing your power. You're losing your power. Now you're becoming a servant. Even the scripture says, I saw princes walking upon the earth and servants upon horses. A horse is very high. Think about the beginning of Django. Who was on the horse? He saw Edom. Who was in shackles? Jake. That's what that means, man. So the Lord is going to take their rulership from them like a thief in the night. When it speaks about YAHAWASHI having all the crowns of the kings of the earth, they mean taking that power. We'll start with Esau Edom because that's who's ruling the world, the wicked, man. Okay? Now, this is a precept from the brother Chazak Bon Yahweh. So, Rock 27:29. And brother, he's spamming the comment boards, brother. They that rejoice at the fall of the righteous shall be taken in the snare, and anger shall consume them before they die. Right. Anger shall consume them before they die. Or gruesome death unto them. Go ahead, up.
That's what's happening now. What was that part?
Anguish.
They're going through a lot. Look, Chinese with balloons, you know, everything that they're experiencing their anguish. It's what's falling apart, and they know it. They're in anguish.
They don't even talk about the bubble anymore concerning the stock market. Because the bubble been burst. They don't want you to know what's really happening in the society. Okay? That's why they want to go to a digital currency, because the dollar has no value anymore. Even India was talking about not using, the Saudi Arabia was talking about not using the dollar anymore, and that's where they get a vast majority of their oil from. The dollar's only backed by the military. It ain't backed by nothing. That's why it's called a fiat currency.
Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans. But thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
You shall no more be called tender and delicate. That's like a young virgin. She hasn't been defiled. She hasn't been tampered with. America, Mr. Her Babylon, Habakkuk 2:5, need to keep it down home. But it enlarges its desire as hell. They've been through all the other countries and raided all the other countries, but nobody has touched ground here in America. Pearl Harbor happened, but I'm talking about the continental USA. In other words, America hasn't been FUCKED. Hasn't been, I'm trying to, be PC because children could be watching whatever, but they haven't been defiled. Like a woman, when a woman's a virgin, they mean that no man has entered her. Once a man entered her, she can never go and say she's a virgin again. You can't be a born again virgin like women try and say. That's only by the spirit, right? So America hasn't been, defiled yet. Nobody has set land here and destroyed it. But it's going to happen via the air. All right, those thermonuclear warheads. That's why the book of Jeremiah said all of those that been in the boat shoot at her. Talking about what? The thermonuclear warheads. And they've been talking about nuclear warheads for a very long time. Matter of fact, not very long time. Since the invasion of Ukraine, Russia keeps talking about going nuclear. And they mean it. That's biblical prophecy. Kazak Ban Yahawah, the second Edges 15 and 20. Behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, which means the east, from the south, from the east, and Lebanon, to turn themselves one against another and repay the things that they have done to them. Turn them one against another. They turn them all against each other, man. Turn them all, and that's what's happening right now. That's why Saudi Arabia turned against America. I saw an article where India gonna have to choose between buying American military weaponry or Russian military weaponry. And India also has nuclear capabilities too. Heavy, man. Isaiah 14 and 4 from the Roman GABAR, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, America, the president, and say, how have the oppressors ceased, the golden city ceased? Yahawah have broken the staff of the wicked, yeah, and the scepter of the rulers. Exactly. Go ahead, guys. And the king holds the staff on it.
Isaiah 14.
You can start. Matter of fact, finish Isaiah 47 and 2, all the way down to 5, then jump back over there.
Isaiah 47, verse 2. Take the millstones and grind the meal.
What's up, bro?
Uncover thy locks.
See, you got the Bible in your hand. Yeah, oh no, yeah. Yeah.
A lot of things. You ever wonder?
Yeah, I'm listening.
He opened the Bible up a lot. And he shows you the things that's hidden.
Okay.
And you ever notice when the old English version of the Bible was written?
Right. I got it right here.
It said they was on a tree. He was hung on a tree.
Right.
When you read this part right here, the word tree is found in the Old Testament and in the New Testament, except for the part when it gets to Christ.
So what secret did it reveal to? Did it show you? Did it show you who the lost? Hold on.
No. Let me finish.
Real quick.
It's a point.
Okay, go ahead. I get it.
Because what he showed me,
okay,
that cross,
okay,
is a symbolic symbol. Okay. It has nothing to do with the tree.
Okay. Well, anyways, what happened during that time? Whenever you had a capital punishment, they would take wood, and then they'll put an X, they'll put you on an X, and that was a gruesome death. They hung you up. So it was just letting them know that they hung him up on wood. That's all that means.
That is a symbolic symbol.
But the Lord don't deal with symbolism.
So now
that's idolatry.
Now you see them. They say, let's go to the cross.
No.
In the Bible it says cross.
It never says go to the cross.
He was crucified on the cross.
They don't. Okay, are we supposed to worship? Are we supposed to worship the cross?
You're not supposed to worship anything that's made by man.
Exactly. So are we talking about the cross?
See, because the people that they're teaching, they're telling people the crucifixion of the cross. That's a lie.
Okay, what's the spirit of the Lord? Yeah,
the Holy Spirit.
What kind of spirit? You know, you got wicked spirit, you got righteous spirit, you got spirits of envy.
The only spirit there is that is holy, is the Holy Spirit.
Okay, what spirit does it come in?
Ask you a question. 1 minute. Just to figure out who you are.
Okay.
Have you ever walked with Jesus on this journey?
I have a question for you.
No.
Do you believe in the Bible or not?
No.
Bring out a verse. Bring out a verse. Bring out a verse.
You can't.
Bring out a verse.
No.
Bring out a verse.
Tell you what it says.
First and foremost, this is our lesson. I'm asking you a question.
No, you can't ask the
Revelation 19 and 10. We believe in it. Forget what we say. What the Bible says. Bring out your verse.
You can't teach nobody. You can't teach nobody. No, you can't teach nobody nothing unless you walk with Christ.
Okay, listen to this.
Revelations 19 and 10.
We just men. Let's listen to what the God got to say. Go ahead.
And I fell at his feet. To worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus.
So he had the testimony. So hold on, you all that talking. Let's see what the testimony. I want you to pay attention.
No,
I'm
gonna teach you something. Let me say something.
No.
I learned.
Let God speak.
I learned. I learned from walking with Christ.
Let's see what God
I
said.
am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that had the testimony of Jesus.
Right?
Worship God.
Uh-huh.
For the testimony of Jesus, the name of YAHAWASHI, is the spirit of prophecy.
So when I asked you what the spirit was, you couldn't tell me it was
I told
prophecy.
you the spirit is the Holy
It
Spirit.
said
The only
prophecy.
Holy Spirit
It
there
said
is.
prophecy. God said
Jehovah
prophecy.
Jireh.
It said prophecy.
Jehovah Jireh.
Thank you. So the spirit of the Lord
Jehovah
is prophecy.
Jireh. Guess what?
So the Lord only dealing
Israel.
with the prophets.
Israel.
All right?
Law.
Exactly.
They can't teach.
All right, exactly. You don't know what he's talking about, man.
Can't teach.
You about that one
If you
precept.
never
Bring out a
ever,
verse.
if you
Bring
never,
out a verse.
no, if you
Exactly.
never ever walk,
Isaiah 8.
hey, Israel,
Isaiah 8.
if you never ever walk with
He's
Jesus
speaking to
Christ,
Israel right
if
now.
you never walk with Jesus Christ,
Isaiah 8.
you cannot tell nobody nothing.
All right. Isaiah
never,
8 to
the one thing the Bible
Isaiah
says,
8 and 20.
Right.
To the Lord and to the testimony.
To the Bible, go ahead.
If they don't speak, not according to this word,
Right?
it is because there is no light.
You
That's
brought out,
right.
you
Let me
brought
tell
out,
you
you
again.
brought out two verses. You ain't brought out
the
one, sir.
testimony
Bring out a
says,
verse.
no, the testimony of
exactly,
Jesus Christ,
No.
the testimony of
Exactly.
Jesus Christ is this right here. You
Psalm
have to
12.
walk. He has to grab your hand and take you on a journey before you can testify to anything.
Psalm
This is the
12.
book of Psalms, chapter 12, verse 6.
Yeah, you too now.
The word of Yahawah
Right?
are pure words.
So forget what he said. I say. What does God say?
The words of Yahawah are pure words.
These words are pure. So regardless of what he say or I say, thus saith the Lord. What does God say?
As silver trieth in the furnace of earth,
Right.
purified 7 times.
Purified 7 times. All right? That's why it says Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. So everything that we speaking on, we can back it up. I asked you what the spirit was. The spirit is prophecy. Right? And you're talking about walking on a journey. YAHAWASHI ain't gonna grab my hand. YAHAWASHI is the spirit right now. The journey that we're walking on right now, the Lord, matter of fact, speaking of the journey, can you get me on Proverbs 6:23? If you're gonna walk, how are you supposed to walk? How are you supposed to walk if you're gonna walk? Go ahead.
Proverbs 6 and 23,
Right?
for the commandments is a lamp,
So the commandment is a lamp. Go ahead.
and the law is light.
And the law is light. So it's a lamp. Go ahead, huh?
The reproofs of instructions are the way of life.
The reproof of instruction is the way of life. Read it one more time.
Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandments is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instructions are the way of life.
Keep going up.
To keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman.
Right, from the flattery of a tongue of strength. So, hey, what did King David said? Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, it's darkness. So how are you going to walk in darkness? You need the light. The light goes back to law. And what's the spirit of YAHAWASHI? Prophecy. And there's many prophecies in the law. All right, let me get back to y'all. Salakia. Another rambling Christian, right? The Roman GABAR dropped to Rock 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. That's the whole point. It's all about prophecy, man. And that's what we're speaking about. Yes, I mean.
The spirit of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy. And also when he said, how the Lord is going to hold his hand, no, the Lord is going to send us the comforter, the spirit. And it says, this is John chapter 15, verse 26. But when the comforter is come, whom I will send unto you from the Father, even the spirit of truth, which proceeded from the Father, shall testify of me.
Right, straight up, man. The Lord said he was going to be with us in the last days, man. And see, what he failed to realize is that he come up on brothers that will go to the Bible. Listen here, he's walking up the street, and you know they like to say, Jake, hey, our people, they learn to have the biggest, oldest Bible. They want to walk around with it. You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody walking around with a sword, and then you would think, oh man, he a samurai. As soon as he pulled that sword out, he cut himself. So as soon as he started running his mouth, he got cut with somebody who, oh, you got a sword? Well, then let's spiritually battle. He lost miserably. So everything we said, we went right to the scriptures. Because the walk, you have to walk according to his word. Matter of fact, how do you even know what
Yeah, read it. John 14:26. But the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you.
Whatsoever he has said unto us. Baba Kashad, can you please give me because he was talking about, I forgot exactly what I had one. But the Lord said he was going to take, I know what it was. St. John chapter 10, verse 27. If I'm not mistaken. St. John 10, verse 27. If I'm not mistaken. 10:27. Beautiful. Beautiful. This how the Lord going to take us by his hand. Go ahead.
John chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me.
So the Lord said, if we're going to hear him and follow him, he said, the Lord going to take us by the hand. Well, we're the lost sheep, he's the shepherd. So if that's the case, how do we hear YAHAWASHI when he's not here physically? He's the word, right? So if he was following the Lord and the Lord had his hand, he would have listened to what the word had to say. He didn't want to listen, but when we had to interrupt him from speaking, and his brother brought our precepts, the Spirit had him shut his mouth. He'll keep talking, but once the word came out, he shut his mouth. And then that demon will hop right back out once the brother started talking. So at least he had enough respect to be quiet when the Lord's word was coming out. But the Lord, YAHAWASHI said, my sheep hear my voice. His voice is the Bible. But he didn't want to hear that. He wanted to hear himself. Right? This is Isaiah chapter 40, verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Right. So what are you talking about? The Lord got us already. But it said the sheep shall hear his voice, which is what the word, man. Right? That's what you're looking for?
Yeah, the Lord speaks through the mouth of his prophets.
Hosea 12:10. I was thinking about that as well. Hosea 12:10. So the ambassadors, the spokesmen of the Lord are the prophets. That's why, what was the first thing I asked him? I said, okay, I hear all that. What's the Spirit of the Lord? The Holy Spirit is the Holy. What? That's like saying being a homosexual, it means that you're a homosexual. What? What's the definition? What's the characteristics? What are the attributes of the Holy Spirit? Prophecy. So at the end of the day, the Lord only dealing with who? The prophets. Oh, damn, that's heavy. Remember he said something about the secret? The Lord revealed the secrets unto him. What it said, Amos 3. The Lord God doeth nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants the prophets. But he didn't even know what the Spirit was. Go ahead,
Hosea 12:10. I have also spoken by the prophets. Hosea chapter 12, verse 10. I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophet.
Right, by the similitude of the ministry. We're ministers right now. We're serving. So we're feeding the sheep. The Lord said he speaks by the mouth of the prophets. The mouth of the prophets. He revealeth his secrets to the servants, the prophets. At the end of the day, he always speak about the prophets, man. So, and like you said, then when you try to edify him, he kept talking. He kept over talking. At the end of the day, that's somebody that's wise in his own eyes. You gotta let him go, but he's good to use for edification's sake. You know, like that word frivolous. Remember earlier we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Frivolous is like it's like something that's meaningless, something that's not very important. So like I would say, trying to convert a modern day hardcore Christian, it's frivolous to try to convert them, but it's good to use them for spiritual battle. You know what I'm saying? So somebody say, like he was saying, oh, the spirit. What's the spirit of the Lord? Well, he didn't know, so we brought it out for somebody who didn't know. So it's all about purpose today.
And the definition, frivolous, not having any serious purpose or value.
Right.
Here's some synonyms. Nonsense, non-serious, time wasting, petty, pointless.
It was pointless. That's it. That's it. That's it. You can go back to Isaiah 14 and 1. We go down, we'll close out. On the brother YARAMYAH GABAR, unless you got something else. Surah 11 and 8. Answer not before thou, beautiful. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Even when he was doing his senseless rhetoric, I did interject. He was like, hold on, let me finish. I said, you know what, you're right, I apologize. And I thought about this precept right here. Right, exactly. So then when I was like, hold on, let's go to the Bible. No. When I hear that, they let me know, man, you really don't believe the Bible. You believe in what you want to believe. Because I'd be damned if I say I believe in God, but I don't want to hear what God got to say. That's senseless, man. I'm not saying we God, but we're gonna use his word. If you believe that to be his voice, his word, then you'll listen to what the Bible got to say.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1.
Yeah.
For the Lord, for Yahawah, will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land.
Right, so we're looking for that. That's why we said rejoice and be glad, O virgin daughter of Edom. Right? Because your time is up. The gig is up, like they say. The jig is up, man. Like we had to serve you. You got to serve us soon. Go ahead, Al.
And the stranger shall be joined with them.
And the strangers are who? The Israelite foreigners. They're going to be joining to us. Go ahead, Al.
And they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And they're going to cleave unto us because they're going to realize that we were the prophets the whole time. All right? Go ahead, bro.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
And meaning that we're going to gather the heathens from the four winds of the earth, the one that's remaining, and we're going to bring them into our land, the land of Israel. Go ahead, Al.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, for servants and handmaids.
Woo! So we can possess them for servants and handmaids. That's why the scripture says in Revelation 13 out of 10, any man that hath an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth with the captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So only the saints we want to put those that put them into captivity. So you can't be a saint if you don't believe in slavery. Good, right?
And it reads, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
And the Lord said we're going to rule over our oppressors, man. Right? Can you give me Nahum? You got something?
Psalms 149, verse 5.
I'll think about that.
Let the saints spirit be joyful and glory.
Beautiful.
And I looked up glory, and the word abundance is in there.
So in other words, we are abundant, we're ecstatic to get the kingdom of heaven because we know what's to come.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
We're singing right now because we got the new song. Not that old song he was talking about the cross. It wasn't really what he said. It wasn't really a tree. It was wood, or he was saying some other term. I'm like, okay. And then what he was saying, I agreed with. I was supposed to worship it. No. So why are you mentioning it? It was senseless. That was frivolous. Go ahead.
Let the high praises of Yahawah
YAHAWASHI.
Let the high praises of Yahawah YAHAWASHI be in their mouth. And there's a scripture in the New Testament, but I'm paraphrasing it, that the Lord takes delight in the fruits of your mouth. speak. That's a way of praising the Lord by our obedience. That's a way of praising the Lord with his bodies, and by doing video, speaking with your mouth. Those are fruits, sacrifices to the Lord. Yes, give praise to his name as well.
It is true, because Paul said, I have planted and Apollos has watered. What do we plant? We plant this word in their brain and hoping that it grows up to be a fruit meet for repentance. Facts, huh?
Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand.
This is a two-edged sword right here. This because in Ephesians it says the word is the sword. This is a two-edged sword. Because the same sword or word we used to cut somebody else, the same sword or word can cut us as well. Right? So the praise of the Lord is in our mouth, and we got the two-edged sword in our hand.
To execute vengeance upon the heathen. And the two-edged sword, is it also a literal sword?
Wait, what I'm saying right now, that's why I said Ephesians, this is the sword.
And to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people.
Right. So it's not a physical sword, because what happened when Peter drew his sword and cut off Malchus' ear? The Lord said, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. By that sword is a gun. So no, we're not going to have an actual gun unless we're actual sword. But that's the scripture where it says, curses he that keepeth his sword from blood.
There's a scripture that says that the Lord is actually going to make his men into swords. Like, I will change
sharp threshing instruments
having teeth.
Right, but we're actually going to have a sword in that day. I believe to the spirit of power, YAHAWASHI, because when you go into it, like even YAHAWASHI said, those my enemy that wish not I rule over them, bring hither and slay them before me. What are you going to slay them with? Maybe I believe a sword. All right.
It says to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron.
The kings, the rulers of the earth. In other words, she put them shackles on my feet. That might be genuine. But yeah, we gonna put shackles on their feet, man. I think you owe me some. Yeah, you owe us the earth, man. Twofold, threefold, 100,000, millionfold, you know?
Yeah. Isaiah 14, where we left off on verse 2. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Facts.
Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
That's why we said, that's why the Lord said, come out of her, my people. This is not your rest. It will destroy you with the sword of destruction. Go ahead, huh?
And it's sorrowful here, because we're working hard as hell to keep everything that we have, because it's so easy to lose everything. You know, and that's a stress in itself.
Esau get way out shooting a little. Go ahead.
That's a stress in itself.
That's why it's best to not have anything in this world,
right?
Because you're gonna lose it anyway.
You already lost it. You don't own anything.
Yeah, you don't own nothing. Everything you're already gonna borrow time. What the hell make you think you could take something that's physical in his physical body when the Lord take that time away from you? If you do, so remember the Lord said, "There be some standing here that shall not see death."
And it says, "And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow,
right,
and from thy fear." And from thy hard bondage,
which we were in, which we're still in, not really, man.
Wherein thou was made to serve.
We was made to serve. The Lord put them curses on us, man. That's why I'm proud to see Esau, because he really think he did it himself. You know? Keep going.
Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon.
Right.
And say, how hast the oppressor ceased?
How has the oppressor ceased? That what the brother Chazak Bun had brought up earlier. Go ahead,
the golden city ceased.
The golden city. Remember people said, "Oh, America, I heard the streets are paved with gold." No, y'all thinking about Revelation when our streets shall be paved with gold. America's streets are paved with vomit, feces, and urine, man. Go ahead. A whole bunch of empty syringes from people shooting up. Go ahead.
YAHAWASHI have broken the staff of the wicked.
Because the staff is power. Moses had power when he went to Pharaoh. Remember, Pharaoh had his prognosticators and had his magicians, and they were doing all of the magic tricks. What happened when Moses had that staff? He dropped that staff and it turned to a snake, right? So staff is the power. Remember, we were fighting against the Philistines, if I'm not mistaken, and Moses held the staff up. And it said, whenever Moses held the staff up, we prevailed against our enemy. But Moses' arm got heavy, and he started to bring the staff down. The enemy started taking us over. And I think it was Aaron and was it Aaron and Joshua? Forgive me. Aaron and somebody else helped Moses hold the staff up. And when he held the staff up, we prevailed against our enemy. Now, it's proverbial. It's not that the staff itself had the power, but the Lord told him, I could put power in any and everything. So you hold that staff up and see what I can do for you. Yeah, heavy. Hit that rock and see I bring water to you.
Stand up for me and watch me stand up for you.
Yeah, but strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will fight for you.
The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. What a scepter of the rulers.
Right.
He who smote the people in wrath,
right,
with a continual stroke.
It's because you have a perpetual hatred. You never stop killing us, never stop slaying us. It got to the point you have police murdering us, and they were showing that shit on live TV on the news. All right, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown. Even the Jake that had his the Edomite that had his knee on his nut. That he was wicked selling looses and all that. Still, it just goes to show you, man, it's not our rest.
Yeah, there was a time where a police had the recording thing, and you can hear him say bad things about wanting to kill Jake.
Yeah.
And there was recently a young Nazi was trying to knock out the power
grid. Yeah.
What do you think he was gonna go do?
Take Jake
night vision goggles.
Ready, man. Ready. Go ahead up.
Isaiah 14, verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
Continuously punished us, man. Show no mercy. That's why, what is it, James? It said he shall have no mercy towards them that have shown no mercy. Go ahead up.
He that ruleth the nations in anger.
In wrath, man.
He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna be taken down pretty soon, bro.
And none hinder it.
You can go to you can close out Lamentations 4:21 and 22. Pick up your pen. I'm gonna read this other precept. You want me to GABAR drop Psalm 7:11. Beautiful. Yahawah judgeth the righteous, and Yahawah is angry with the wicked every day. And just like 7:11, that's 24/7. The Lord angry with the wicked. That's why it's called Psalm 7:11.
The Lord angry with the wicked every day because they're wicked every day.
7:11, baby. 7:11.
Lamentations chapter 4, verse 20, verse 21 and 22. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Man, they're rejoicing heavy. Yeah, there was what is that thing with all the singers that they come together and they do a big show. It was on TV. The Grammys. Man, they were rejoicing, and it was all wicked.
It was satanic.
It was satanic.
There was two dudes that was a duo. They were dressed like Satan. They had a song called Unholy, and they allowed that to be publicized to the people. That's how you know, man, the earth was given to the hands of the wicked, bro.
It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz.
Right, Babylon right here.
The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
Which we had to drink, which is slavery, which goes back to them going to slavery as well, binding their kings with fetter of iron. Go ahead,
Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked.
Right, because you got to drink the whole cup, man. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, you drunken you drunken with power. You got to drink the cup of the Lord's righteous indignation.
Verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished.
Right. Woo. Talking about us, go ahead.
The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished.
Right.
O daughter of Zion.
Right. So that means our slavery, our captivity is coming to an end. Go ahead.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
Ooh, this is gonna be the last time, man. Go ahead.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
Oh, the Lord will come look for you for what you done to us. And that's when the new covenant gonna come in. We're gonna go into it though. I'm gonna show you I think they home 1 and 9. You'll close out. You want me to GABAR drop Psalm 7:12 to 13. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. Wet means to sharpen. He hath bent his bow and made it ready, talking about coming to the warhead. He hath also prepared him for the instruments of death, Isaiah 54:17. I created the waster. I created the smith, the waster to destroy. He ordained of his arrows against the persecutors. Yeah. Water, let's close that.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Nahum 1:9. What do ye imagine against the Lord?
Yeah, that's it.
What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end.
The utter end of Esau, Edom, yeah.
No, that sounds like a switch.
No, it's not. They gotta read it. They gotta keep it captivity for
1,000 years. It says, affliction shall not rise up the second time.
Right. We shall not go into captivity again. Right? So, with that being said, Baba Kashaf, can you give me I think Galatians 5:5 and we'll close out. So everything we're doing is based upon hope and faith. This is the year of hope, right? So we're hoping for a righteous kingdom, right? Therefore, we do all things for the elect's sake. And we hope that prayer be a part of that number, man.
Galatians 5:5. For we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness by faith.
So we through the Spirit wait for the hope of righteousness. We're hoping for a righteous kingdom by what? Our faith, because we're only going to be saved by faith and grace. All right? So with that being said, we want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Hashem, Yahawashi, Hashem, QADASH, double honor to our elders at Great Millstone who do well, singing honors to the elect, please the best to the 1/3, answer the confusion faces to the 4 points of the earth. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom, everybody.